viewers, hope you're all doing well. Namaskar, this is Pramankur. I'm an international keynote speaker and a motivator. Once again, I'm back for one more interesting and informative video. Today I'll be discussing about Srimad Bhagbat Gita and its relevance in our life. As we all know that we basically are very much influenced by spirituality. So today I'll be telling you something about the relevance of Srimad Bhagbat Gita in our life and how we can get benefited by this wonderful scripture of Srimad Bhagbat Gita. Because many of us have heard that reading of the holy books transmit a lot of positive energy in our life, and most of us believe that this positive energy are only transformed in us when we start understanding them and start reading them carefully. Yes, it is true. Unlike the previous thoughts, I will be telling you that what is the scientific relevance of these holy scriptures with our life and our day-to-day living. There are so many holy scriptures which is always open to the mankind, but how many of us are really understanding the real meaning behind those scriptures? Whether you are talking about the Holy Quran or the Torah, or we talk about the Bible, or we talk about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, all the scriptures have got only one message, which is the importance of life and how to lead the life. Only the paths are different and the way the things are described are different, but it all aims to the single fact, that is, we all come from the single source of the super energy, or that is what we call as God. So what exactly is Srimad Bhagavad Gita? So if you have to understand Bhagavad Gita, then first of all you need to understand the word Gita itself. If you see the word Gita, you have to really understand what is the real meaning of the syllable of Gita. Gita is the song which is lying within ourselves, the song of life, the song of eternity. So it is not something which is different from our life. It is nothing something which is different from our society. The meaning of Gita lies in the society. And if you really have to understand the Gita, if I really go by the word of Srimad Paramahamsa Ramakrishna Dev, one of the greatest mystic of 19th century in Bengal in India, who once said that if you really have to understand the real meaning of Gita, then you have to reverse the syllable of the word Gita. And if you reverse the syllable of Gita, it becomes Tyagi. That means sacrifice. So if you really have to understand the meaning of Gita, first you have to have a mind to sacrifice. You should be able to get the dispassion from the materialistic comforts and the materialistic things of life. Then only you can understand what Gita is all about. In order to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, one need to have an understanding that how to let go of the materialistic compassion of life, and that is where when we reverse the syllable of Gita, the appropriate meaning comes like that, Tagi, or let go of the materialistic things of life, one who is ready to sacrifice. So if you basically understand the meaning of Gita, that Gita is just not a book that which you read every day, but it is a thought, it is something which you really keep on cogitating, and you get deeper into the thought so that you can understand the meaning of Bhagavad Gita in our life. So the first thing which we need to understand, that if you really want to really attain the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, you must know that the chapters, how exactly we should approach. The first part of the Gita is basically which covers the questions which are basically asked by Arjuna. So you have to understand that when Arjuna is asking question, that is where he was trying to seek the information from Lord Krishna. And from lesson 1 till lesson 6, where Arjuna has tried to ask all the questions to Lord Krishna, that why he should fight the battle against his own people, whether it is really important for him to fight with the people who are his own relatives. And in the lesson which is from 7 till lesson 12, where Krishna has explained that why it is important for him to fight that battle. And the last chapters, which is basically from 13 to 18, where Lord Krishna's entire lessons has been summarized. So these three different parts are the three different approaches. So the first part where Arjuna has asked the question could be considered we can attain through Karma Yoga. That is through our selfless, dedicated service. And the middle portion, which is considered to be the explanation given by Lord Krishna, could be considered only through our Bhakti Yoga or through our devotion. That is with our emotional skills. And the final chapter where Lord Krishna's lessons has been summarized can be attained with all our Jnana Yoga, or basically with our intelligence. So we start with the behavioral skills, then emotional skills, and then our intelligence, or the final chapter which we call it the Jnana Yoga. So my friends, as I say that this is completely a scientific approach, and in order to understand Bhagavad Gita, these three approaches of life is very important. And as I have said in my previous video in Yoga Sutra, that Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, these are nothing but the path to lead to that ultimate truth, that is about spirituality. So if you see Gita in other terms, it is basically a book about self-actualization, knowing about yourself, who you are, what you are doing. Let me tell you a story. Once, one man was very much confused, and he was actually wondering that if he die, then whether he'll be able to see a God or not. So one day he went to his spiritual master and asked him that if I die, do I go to the heaven? Then the spiritual master, with a little bit of thinking, he said, yes, you will certainly go to heaven. Then he asked the second question, that once I go to the heaven, will I be able to see the God? The spiritual master said, yes, certainly, you will definitely see the God, like the way you see me. Then his next question is that the God will talk with me like the way you are talking? He said, yes, of course he will talk with you. Then he said that what he will ask me? And then the spiritual master said, he will ask you, tell me who am I? So the answer is very clear, that who am I? So if we do not know who is God, so before we get the answer who God is, we must know who we are. So Gita is that kind of spiritual book which gives you an ultimate knowledge of yourself. If you do not know what you are and what we are, then we really cannot understand the meaning of spirituality. So this book is going to give you a complete insight of yourself and of your entire life's journey. And that is why I say appropriately that Gita is a complete encyclopedia of life. So if you have basically been in any field of life, whether you are a student, whether you are a businesswoman, whether you are a business person, but you can definitely take some time of your life to go through this book of Srimad Bhagbat Gita. And when you read Srimad Bhagbat Gita, you will understand that is the real reflection of yourself in that book. It is how Lord Sri Krishna helps you to understand his own life by the pages of Srimad Bhagbat Gita. Each and every verse has its own meaning. So if you see how exactly Arjuna wanted to understand from Lord Krishna, the first thing he said, Lord Krishna, he requested him to take the chariot in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And where they went? To the middle of the two armies, to the middle of the battlefield, where the two armies were sitting. And from both sides he can see that his own side where the Pandavas are there, and the other side the Kauravas are there. And similarly, Srimad Bhagavad Gita is also like the middle of life. So if you basically go into the deeper into the thoughts, then only you can understand that what is the relevance of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So my friends, if you really want to understand Srimad Bhagavad Gita, I will suggest please follow this approach and try to go through that book whenever you get time. In the next videos, I'll be coming on the lessons of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where I'll explain that how Lord Krishna has given different examples through which we can learn many things in life. How the different shankhas which Arjuna has raised, which means the confusions which Arjuna had, how Lord Krishna has given some nice explanation to all these questions. But this will come in my next video. So I will be back for one more interesting video on Srimad Bhagbat Gita. Hare Krishna. Hey guys, what are you waiting for? If you have still not subscribed me, subscribe my channel and get some more interesting video on positive lifestyle, and hit the bell button so that you can watch some more interesting videos.